Absolutely, and I think shot selection comes with experience. You know, as the more experienced he becomes, he gets to learn a lot more shots, and he learned so much playing John Higgins over 4 sessions. But we've seen it before, Sean Murphy, even Joe Johnson, when Joe Johnson beat Steve Davis back in 1986, another unbelievable putter.
Indeed. Well, he's got his nose in front again.
Thank you.
Yes, he's got everything, and I think the most important thing that Judd Trump has shown us is his temperament. He's got the temperament to be a champion. And I think what convinced me of that is John Higgins played a little swerve, played it nicely, and the kiss on the yellow was good enough to leave the cue ball near the baulk cushion. Just a bit thin, and he's left this red much too thin, much too pace in the cue ball. But just going back to Judd Trump, Stephen, in his second session against Ding Junhui, he was lucky really to win a frame that session, but he put it behind him and came back and, of course, won what people will talk about, an epic semi-final. Well, there's a surprise. They're half chances, and normally John Higgins takes them.
Yeah, he hit that very badly. He played to screw around the back of the black. Looks like cannon into the black. There's the black over the centre. These are the sort of shots that Judd doesn't really like to play, the sort of slow rolls. And really play the black and smash into the pack here.
I think it's long odds against him not doing that. Just got to check the pack, make certain there's no plants there. I mean, he could play for the red that's loose on the left-hand side. But into the pack he goes. Now, how's your luck? There's a red coming across to cover 1. It may have covered 2. Does the red pass the pink to the right middle?
8.
That appears to be the only red available. It does.
Got this black, stun off the cushion for the red that's just to the left of black into the same pocket. Which will clear the black to both pockets.
$16. $17.
I'd like to cannon the red that's just above the black to the right and leave one of the 2 reds to the left corner. Well, again, he's hit that a lot harder than I expected him to hit it. I don't think he's done anything.
No.
24.
A little bit too much bottom on that cue ball. He wanted to stun through that red, and there was no need for that amount of pace. He's desperately looking to see if he's a pot on, but I don't think there is. Can he see enough of this red for the far left corner? I didn't think so at first glance. And at second glance, I don't think he can just get through to it. He'll be disappointed. He didn't make the most of that opportunity when he brought the reds into play. But sometimes the balls just don't run your way for one reason or another. So you've got to show a little bit of patience. Well, can he get past the green to pot this red below the brown? If he can, that's a bit careless from John Higgins. Well, it is. Good pot, don't get me wrong, but amazed John Higgins even gave him a sniff of that.
I did say to John the other night, he'd been watching the semi-final with Ding and Judd, and we said the most dangerous opponent you can play is the one who's just out there having fun. When you're playing every shot for a pint of blood.
Yeah, and certain styles of players can ruffle players. I always remember Eddie Charlton, Steady Eddie from Australia, and very tough man to beat, and yet Kirk Stevens used to play him and never had any problem whatsoever, because Kirk's type of game just was suited to punishing Eddie, and he played shots that Eddie never expected a player to go for.
Yeah, sometimes you can be just put out your comfort zone.
Over half an hour since John Higgins potted a ball. There'll be a mid-session interval after this frame, and then 5 more, remember. Not the usual 4 we expect. Playing 9 frames in this session. Well, there's still a lot to play for. Every frame key. Well, I can only assume that he did play that cannon, and he's on this red. And he's on the black. Well, what a chance to go 2 frames in front.
17.
Back to his dressing room, very happy with his evening's work so far, winning 3 of the first 4 frames, if he can make the most of this opportunity.
$25.
It's interesting to see how different players play in different situations.
Yeah.
That shot, I'd have just been stunning for the pink into the right centre, and you've got
26.
3 reds all around the pink spot, so you wouldn't even need to use a cushion, just a series of little stuns, follow-throughs. Judd prefers to hit the ball with a bit more pace. He's finished wrong side of the blue, but it's okay, there's a red in bulk.
Well, look at that tournament. John
31.
Higgins 5,471, Judd Trump 5,473.
32.
Just over 2 weeks of... They've potted some balls, in other words.
I want to know whose job it is to count that.
$37. $38.
He didn't want to roll it in, he played the stun run through, and he's suffered the consequences here. It looked certain to roll it through, and he's thought, I don't want to roll it, I want to play the stun run through, and he just struck that cue ball a little too low below centre, and it didn't run through, and it's a pressure pink he's left here. I'm sure he'll take it on. But it's no gimme, this. Tremendous recovery. And there you see it. That was frame
44.
ball. 68 ahead, 67 remaining. And to really put the frame to bed, he needs to pot this red.
45.
It's there. That means that John Higgins needs lots of snookers. Mid-session interval. Judd Trump certain now to have a 2-frame advantage.
50.
74 the lead now, 59 remaining. John Higgins will not be coming back to the
51.
table. He'll be disappointed with the way he's performed in the first 4 frames.
Yeah, I agree, John. I think tonight John's plan would definitely be to have a lead going into the second day. That's what my plan would have been. But it's not
53.
working at the moment. He's got problems.
Yes, and a few
54.
half chances we normally expect John Higgins to take. He's not done so. And you can just see Judd Trump getting stronger here.
61.
I think the 10th frame was an
62.
important one when John Higgins got in first, made a break of 45. Looked as though he was going to win the frame, but Judd came in and won that frame. And it's those type of frames that you win when you sat in your chair for a few
69.
minutes thinking you're going to lose. And when you win them, it's such a boost to your confidence, and vice versa for your opponent. He's turning on the style. This is what he loves to do, and we may just get a century out of him here if he can pop the colour. If you get to 73, you can make the century with the 6 remaining colours. He can do it now. Great shot on the pink.
76. 78.
This will be the 72nd century of the tournament, and Judd Trump's 9th.
81.
He's just got to play a good positional shot from brown to blue.
85.
Well, we've seen exciting frames, but there's nothing that a Crucible
90.
crowd likes better than to see a century. Switches to his right hand. Will it make any difference? Well, he potted the pink.
96.
Are we going to roll it in, Judd? Are we going to ram it down the pocket? Ram it down the pocket, we will! What a sensational finish! They go to the mid-session interval. The young man from Bristol, Judd Trump, leads John Higgins by 7 frames to 5.
Well, this is sensational stuff. They're hooting with delight here in the Winter Gardens watching this, my 3 friends here. But just to let you know about the century breaks, that was indeed the